wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. That way you can follow along, where whatever mistakes and stuff, and you can hear it fluidly. Bidnillah, more fluid. قال الله تعالى. So this is about ikhlas. Ikhlas lillah azza wa jal. Sincerity for Allah the Almighty. قال تعالى. وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء. So, and they were not commanded, and again, أمر أمروا أمروا يأمرون وما أمروا, and they were not commanded. So this is also مبني للمجهول. فايدة. A lot of these texts مبني للمجهول in the passive voice. وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء. So, and they were not commanded except to worship Allah alone with sincerity. Mukhlisin, lahu, for him. Lahu deen hunafa, the deen hunafa, Hanafiya, which is monotheism, which is the deen of Ibrahim, alayhi salatu wasalam. وقال تعالى ومن أحسن دين ممن أسلم وجهه لله وهو محسن واتبع ملة إبراهيم حنيفا. So this also explains this verse too, the tafsir, because Allah the Almighty says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنَ دِينًا مِمَّنْ أَسْلَمَ وَجْهُهُ لِلَّهِ. And who has a better deen than the one, who's the best? I know there's a better way to say that, but anyway, who is the best in religion? Who is better in religion than the one who submits his face to the pleasure of Allah? Wajhi lillah. He's aslama, he accepts Islam, or he accepts Islam for the sake of Allah. Wuhuwa muhsin. And he is a muhsin. He's one who does righteous acts and stuff like this. And muhsin is also like perfecting. Even in the hadith of Jibreel, when asked about ihsan, and ta'budullaha كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. It's to worship Allah as if you see him, because you can't see him, know that he sees you. So that's also where the word muhsin comes from.
Tahsin, the
Tahsin, exactly. So it has like and it's also you're perfecting your ibadah. Okay, huwa muhsin واتبع ملة Ibrahim, and follow the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Hanifan, because Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions specifically in the Quran that he sallallahu alayhi wasallam was on the deen of Tawheed, Millat Ibrahim, just with strength and quwwah. Not that they all the Anbiya were, but specifically Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, for the way he distanced himself, al-wala wal-bara, from his father and so forth. And then he mentions a hadith after that, an Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu قال سمعت, so it should be a dhamma, رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما أعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى فمن كانت هجرته إلى الله. And why should it be إلى الله?
To because it's to Allah.
No, but ilallahi.
Oh, because it's majroor.
Majroor, good. So because of the so it has a kasra ala dhahir. Ilallahi wa rasulihi, because also it's because of the wow, it carries the same grammar. For hijratuhu ilallahi wa rasulihi. Ilallahi ورسوله ومن كانت هجرته للدنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها, I mean, although there's no tashkil, فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. So, Umar radiallahu ta'ala said he heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, verily actions are tied to the intentions. Everyone shall get that for which he intended. Therefore, he who migrates for Allah and his messenger, or to Allah and his messenger, then he is migrated to Allah and his messenger. The fa. فهجرته, then his hijrah is to Allah and his messenger. And whoever migrates, كانت هجرته للدنيا, to for the worldly benefit, yusibuha, to gain from the worldly benefit, or imra'atin, or to take some woman in marriage, then his hijrah is for that which he intended, that for whatever he make his hijrah, letting us know that the place of the that your deeds are judged by your intention. Your deeds judged by your intention. Of course, also being perfecting with the sunnah. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن الأول ناس يقضى يوم القيامة عليه. Verily, the first people that will be judged on the day of judgment. رجل استشهد. So a man who was martyred. فأوتي به, also it's مبني للمجهول, it's in the passive voice. فأوتي به فعرفه نعمه نعمته, it's a different level. نعمته فعرفها. So his favors that he, the blessings that Allah has given him will be made known, and he will acknowledge that. فعرفها, he will know it. قال, and then he said, فما عملت فيها. So it will be said to him, فما عملت فيها, what did you do? فما عملت فيها. قال, he will say, قتلت, I fought. قتلت فيك حتى استشهدت. It's hard when to because استشهدت, because it's also مبني للمجهول. No, استشهد يستشهد استشهدت. No, maybe it's not مبني للمجهول. But anyway, على كل حال, it's a simple past. استشهدت, I fought until I was martyred. قال كذبت, and then he said, you lied. ولكنك فعلت ولكنك قتلت لأن يقال جري. So you lied, but rather you did it so that the people would say that you're brave. فقد قيل, that's مبني للمجهول. So then, in that file lets us know, so then, then it was said. And that shows us what? You got your reward for those actions in the dunya. That's a masiba kubra. All you desired fame, so you got it. That's basically what it's saying. You wanted fame, you got it. Oh, you wanted to be called brave and be on in the videos, got it. But in the hereafter, فَقَدْ قِيلَ ثُمَّ أُمِرَ بِهِ فَصُحِبَ. Again, مبني للمجهول in the passive voice. أُمِرَ بِهِ فَصُحِبَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ حَتَّى أُلْقِيَ فِي النَّارِ. Also مبني للمجهول in the passive voice. So it was said, meaning he got his reward in this dunya. ثُمَّ, then it will be أُمِرَ, not أَمَرَ. ثُمَّ أُمِرَ. So it was also, then it will be commanded. It will be commanded. So it's also, the passive voice. فَصُحِبَ, and he will be thrown, because it's passive voice, on his face until he enters the fire. وَرَجُلٌ تَعَلَّمَ الْعِلْمِ, and a man who learned knowledge. وَعَلَّمْتُهُ, and he taught it. وَقَرَأَ الْقُرْآنِ, and he recited the Quran, or read the Quran. فَأُوتِيَ بِهِ فَعَرَّفُهُ نِعَمُهُ فَعَرَّفَهَا. And also, it's interesting that there's a difference between the first ni'matuhu, and now it says, because that's how I've memorized it, ni'amuhu. So anyway, فَأُوتِيَ بِهِ فَعَرَّفُهُ نِعَمُهُ فَعَرَّفَهَا. So then he'll be brought, and the favors that Allah has favored him with will be, it'll be made known, and he will acknowledge it. فَعَرَّفَهَا. He'll acknowledge. He'll say, yeah, I had all those blessings in the dunya. قال فما عملت فيها. And then the same thing asks, so what have you done? What did you do? قال تعلمت العلم. I learned knowledge. وعلمته. There's a shadda there to show that it goes to someone else. Yeah, the fi'l. I forgot what you call fi'l lazim or fi'l. I forgot the other. Anyway, ala kulli hal, this lets us know that it not just that he did an action, but he did it. The fi'l, the action happens to others. وَعَلَّمْتُهُ, and I taught it. I taught that knowledge. وَقَرَأْتُ فِيكَ Qur'an, and I recited the Quran for you. He's saying that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قَالَ كَذَّابٌ, and it will be said, and then it said, you lied. He said, you lied. ولكنك تعلمت ليقال عالم. You did it so that the people would say you're an alim, you're a knowledgeable person. وقرأت القرآن ليقال. And وقرأت القرآن ليقال. And you recited the Quran so that it will be said. It will be said. Qari, what a beautiful reciter. We have his tapes, we have his picture, we have his video. فقد قيل, and it was said. ثم أمر به فصحب على وجهه حتى ألقي في النار. Now, and so they didn't even mention, and then the hadith it goes, and that's my favorite part of the hadith. The next part, so they stopped it there, but there's also وَرَجُلٌ وَسَعَ عَلَيْهِ, a man who was given, wasa, he was given a lot of wealth. وَسَعَ عَلَيْهِ وَأَعْطَاهُ مِنْ أَصْنَافِ الْمَالِ كُلِّ, and he was given every kind of asnaf, every kind of category of wealth. كُلِّ فأتي به فعرفه نعمه فعرفها فقال فما عملت فيها قال ما ترك فما عملت فيها قال ما تركت من سبيل تحب أن ينفق فيها إلا أنفقت فيك لك قال كذبت ولكنك فعلت ليقال هو جواد فقد قيل ثم أمر به فصحب على وجهه حتى ألقي في النار. So this one, he's given a lot of wealth and he's asked about it, and then he says, that I spend it for your sake, which would be one of the greatest deeds you could do, being wealthy and spend it, building wells, charity, helping the orphans, helping Philistine, helping Sudan, helping, whatever, building institutes of the Sunnah. Now, so that's, he says, I spent, I didn't leave. And I love the language because he says, ma taraktu min sabil. I didn't leave any path that you desire to be money to be spent, except that I did it. And then you lied, but rather you did it so that the people would say you were, what do you call it? The person who spends all their wealth, what do you call them?
Spendthrift? Or?
Well, yeah, spendthrift is one thing, but what's a common thing we always say? Like Bill Gates and all those guys, they're going to donate all their money. Philanthropist, yeah. So, and you did it so that people would say you're a great philanthropist. فَقَدْ قِيل, and it was said. Again, that's مبني للمجهول. Good. And then this one, قال إسحاق ibn تباع سمعت حماد بن سلمة يقول من طلب الحديث لغير الله مكره به. I think this is that he is disliked. So whoever seeks hadith for other than Allah, then he is hated for it. Or else it's disliked. I'm not sure. وقال حسين بن زياد المروزي سمعت فضيلا يقول لو حلفت أني مراء كان أحب إلي من أن أحلف أني لست بمراء, meaning, so he said, lo halaftu, if I swore that that I was a person who was showing off, mira'an, like riya, from the word riya, the minor shirk. He said, lo halaftu anni mura'in kana ahabba ilay, that would be more beloved to me to swear that I'm a person who shows off is more beloved to me than me to swear that I'm not a person who shows off. You understand? And he says, وَلَوْ رَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا اجْتَمَعَ النَّاسْ حَوْلَهُ, and if you saw a man that the people gather around him, like he's teaching or something, there's a lot of people around him, لَقُلْتُ, then I would say, هذا مجنون. I would say that guy's majnun, he's crazy. من الذي يجتمع الناس حوله لا يحب أن يجود كلامه. So he said, I would say that's that guy's crazy, because who in the world doesn't desire that the people gather around him, and he likes to beautify his speech at that time. So he's just showing you how dangerous Riyah is, and how it affects us all. And that's how the Salaf were. They were really نعم. So yeah. أسأل الله كريم رب العرش العظيم أن يتولنا في الدنيا والآخرة وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا Muhammad. So this is very beautiful. It has a lot of awesome, excellent narrations from the Salaf about the importance of the intention, النية. بارك الله فيكم.